We're back.
Hello.
We're
I
back.
know. We have tried every single venue. Hello. I think it's so cute that you do that. You're always like, hi, and I'm like, what's up? I get a little, I'm like, all like, we're doing it. And like, Ray's here.
Right, is there? I have.
I'm like, I can't figure out my hands. Oh, and Yoda. Baby, no, I'm sorry. Baby Yoda, the
Baby
child.
the child. No, I prefer Baby Yoda. I'm sticking to
I
that.
know, right? So first off, I want to say thank you so much, Australia, for coming on to your own Zoom and,
Yay!
and, and doing this interview with us because that's awesome. Welcome everybody to the Run Princess family. This is our very first guest, Australia. Australia, say your last name for me.
Contreras.
Contreras.
There you go.
Did I do it? Okay. Okay, good. First off, you guys, I know we tried this like so many times, and we wanted to give you guys the best of the best. And also because we both are having really good hair days. For any of you who were here yesterday for my live, I was saying how bad my hair, Australia, did you see it yesterday? It was like poofy, and it was really, I was talking to Carrie Lynn earlier, and I was like, we should do like, she came up with a Wizard of Oz, and I was like, oh, I can be the lion because my hair is so big. And she's like, you wouldn't have to do anything. And I was like, that's perfect.
Thank you.
So
I'll take it as a compliment.
I know my hair is wild. So there's that. So I wanted to say thank you for jumping on and continuing to like, I know it's been like an hour of us trying to like get this, but I'm glad that we figured it out because I'm really, really excited to have you. So we can just kind of like dive back in because I did save the other two videos. So if you guys are wanting to watch like the first two videos, I know the first one is kind of like
Choppy.
rickety, but well, you know, why don't we just start from the beginning? So why don't you kind of like give us a little excerpt of who you are and like
Yeah.
why you are the way you are because we love the way that you are.
So I am, well, I'm going to be 33. So my birthday is August 31st. I'm an August baby. Yay! I was an asthmatic growing up, so I wasn't allowed to run.
Hmm.
I lost a friend, a neighbor friend, when I was like 12, and she was 9, and she had asthma, and she was running around playing outside because, you know, I used to play outside in apartment complexes. And
Yeah.
she collapsed, and they couldn't get to her in time, so she passed away.
Oh my gosh.
So after that, my mother refused to let me do any kind, way, shape, or form
Yeah.
of physical activity, just because I had been to the ER so many times where I had difficulty breathing. So that's my thing. Like, I can't see people not being able to breathe. Like, it drives me insane. Like, I
That's a
can't,
little scary.
I feel it like on my, you know, I feel it personally. So I grew up in California. I was born and raised in California. Uh,
Cali girl. Hey.
so I was from the OC. I went to school both. I lived in Costa Mesa. I was born in Santa Ana. I lived in Costa Mesa, and then I went to school on Newport Beach. Is how just the routing gave out. So I grew up over there, and my parents bought a house here, and they were supposed to move, and they never moved. So my brother moved. My older brother moved, and my mom said, "Hey, we're gonna move you halfway through your senior year." And I was like, "You
Oh
can't
gosh.
do that. You can't do
That's
that."
a fun time to move.
So our solution was that I would come live with my aunt in Texas, San Antonio, where I'm at. Whoop, whoop. And then I would get everything sorted to go to college because I wanted to go to college. So I came a semester early, so I didn't get to enjoy like my senior year. I didn't do prom. I didn't do any of that stuff because I was at a new school. I didn't really know anybody at my school. So I just kind of waddled and weaved through high school, and I actually ended up moving in with my brother. And he is significant because he plays a big, big role in my life. So growing up, he was 8 years older than me. And it was just me and him. And then my little brother came along 8 years later. So we're all 8 years apart, actually. And it's my brother and myself, and then my little brother. So I'm the only girl.
Wow.
So my brother was always kind of my guide, because my parents came from Mexico and they struggled with like the language and getting through things, and like they became permanent residents and then they became citizens, and it was just like for them it's such a whole new world. They just struggled to adapt. So my brother was kind of like that person. Like he was their person, he was their guide. And he kind of was my person and my guide. So he was the one that helped me with homework. He's the one that would sit with me. He's the one that understood the language clearly. So he was kind of my light. Um, so I moved in with him, and then I went to college. And I still don't run. Running, y'all. I'm not running. I know. I don't like running at all. I was the girl that got notes to get out of P. That was me. It's me. It's me.
That was me too. It's totally fine.
Health
It's a club.
condition.
We're
Health,
making it a club.
yeah, health condition. I had a health condition. I could not run. So I came to Texas, got married my last year in college, and we moved to Virginia for a little bit, but came back to Texas with my brother when he had my nephew, who is now 12. So
Wow.
I've basically been with him my whole entire life, adult,
Yeah.
child. I was actually more with him than I had been with my actual, like my parents. So that's where I come from.
Oh, awesome. I didn't know, like I knew like a little bit about your brother, but I didn't know all of that. So that's really cool.
Mhm.
That's really, really cool. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in um to some questions. We'll start with an easy one. Super easy. Since you're from California, are you pro Disneyland or pro Walt Disney World?
So this is what broke the internet last time. Got
I
married. So
know, but I gave my own answer for you.
just
I,
FYI, it broke the internet. I'm just putting it out there. It totally broke the internet. So here's my thing. So even though I grew up 20 minutes away from Disneyland, I think I can recall being there 3 times, and it was with my godmother. My mom just doesn't like she doesn't like places. She doesn't like people. She doesn't like places. She gets a little anxious and a little claustrophobic. So
okay.
it's not really her scene. So anytime I did go, I went with my godmother. And funny little story, she gave me like $10 back then, which, let's be honest,
Which is
$10
huge.
at Disney. So I remember buying rock candy because it had the logo that said Disneyland. I kept that box for so long
Aww.
because it was like so meaningful and precious to me.
Mm.
So I had a special place for Disneyland, but I did not actually become a full Disney addict until my adult age. So for our honeymoon, and I became a Disney fan, and we'll go into that a little bit later. That's a little cool stuff, background story. So I was not really like, I remember those little pieces. I had an autograph book where I got to meet Mickey and Minnie and, at Disneyland. But I think most of my memories come from Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
And it has a special place in my heart because it's like you get submerged into it the moment you walk off of that plane. Like it's like you're stepping into this place, and the first time
Hmm.
it wasn't that way, because we went on our honeymoon. We were just getting started. Like I just started our job, and we stayed off. We didn't stay on Disney property. I had no idea that you stayed on Disney property at all. Maybe that was the best way. And we only did Epcot, Magic Kingdom, and we went to Universal Studios.
Shame on you.
Shame. Who am I? What is wrong with me?
We're stopping this interview right
Yeah,
now.
it's over.
It's done.
So, um, I remember I remember being on the monorail, to the parking lot, because you have to ride the monorail. And we crossed through Contemporary, and I looked at him and I said, "We are going to stay here one day." And we left it at that. We went 2 days. It was amazing. It was magical. There is very little that compares to walking down Main Street with
Yeah.
the music and the smells and just
100%.
Cinderella Castle is just it's majestic. Like it just leaves you in awe, right? But then there's the nostalgia and I mean Walt designed Disneyland. So that's where like
Yes.
my heart kind of but if we're going with memories, like I've had more Disney World memories with friends and people that I love that are present in my life now than I do back at Disneyland. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Team World Disney there.
Yeah. Well, I mean that makes sense too, because you've done like a lot of runs and stuff, and that's like, and I got it. I like love Disneyland, but I totally understand like the making memories
Mhm.
with certain people and like that feeling of like running through the castle. Like you just can't get over. Like the first time you do it is like, whew, man,
Yeah,
like
all
tears,
the feelings.
all the feelings are there, and they're already coming back. Like I feel, anyways. That's a totally different side. I could side tangent. That's why I have questions and notes because they were like, "Girl, are you prepared? Because you were gonna go sidetracked." It's like I'm not. Not this time. Not this time. Okay. When's gonna be your next trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World? I know Walt Disney World.
So wine and dine. We're keeping
Okay. Are you guys still going?
yes, we're keeping the trip.
Okay.
Even though, granted, moving forward, I always say tentatively because so
Yeah.
much can happen in this world as we've seen. Both on a personal and a worldwide level. So if everything works out the way we're planning it to, we'll be there for the wine and dine trip.
Oh, that'll be so much fun. And you guys will take a whole bunch of pictures. Did you guys sign up? Did you sign up for any of like since they went to virtual, did you sign up for any of them?
I did
Or did
not.
you choose that option?
I didn't. So
Yeah.
I was running Wine and Dine Challenge through a charity. I just didn't feel it was not fair, but I want to do recognition to the people that had donated so far at
Yeah.
the race, and just I didn't want, you know, um,
Oh, totally.
so I donated like money to the organization separately just because I felt bad that I was kind of like, no, defer my race for next year. So they were really nice and said you can move all of everything to next year. So they're like, well, I'll just get 2 years to raise money for my race.
I mean, why not? Because Wine and Dine apparently is amazing. Have you ever done Wine and Dine before?
No.
Okay, so this is gonna
So
be your first one.
this was the year that I was supposed to do. So I did Marathon Weekend. I did
Hmm.
Princess. I didn't sign up for Star Wars, just because they're so close together and like my
They
husband
really are.
runs now, so it's not just my race registration, it's like his too. Guys, it's a good thing and a bad thing. So we had two Dopey registrations, we had two Princess registrations, and
It gets
Star Wars is
expensive.
so close together. And actually we had decided like I was gonna go with my friends for Wine and Dine and he didn't come along for that one. So he was a little bitter about it. So I blame him, guys. I'm sorry. It was his fault. We didn't get to run it because he was like, you're
Yep.
leaving me behind, blah blah blah. But
Whatever. Um, are you sticking with, I'm going off script. This had nothing to do with anything, but I'm curious. Curious minds want to know, meaning me. Um, are you sticking, so are you guys going to run when you're there, or are you guys just going to purely like just park hop?
park hop. Well, if
Okay.
they well, we're just gonna go to the parks.
Well, I mean like run around like outside of the park.
Right. I think
That
they
way you guys can all run together still.
yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. Or you'll just enjoy sleeping in and not waking up at like 1 or 2 o'clock in
Enjoy
the morning, you know? I mean, you almost want to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I know you do. I know you do. Just get
I know.
all dolled up and like leave the room at 3:30 in
Well,
the morning.
right now, I wouldn't mind. Like, I was telling friends, I will likely, for the time being, never complain again about waking up early to run a race because I miss that. Like, I actually miss waking up to go to a race.
I know it's yeah. Yeah, it's have you since since COVID. Have you been able to do a like in-person race yet or no? Has Texas not allowed it yet?
Texas has not allowed it yet.
Okay.
I've heard there's some in like the smaller towns. We just haven't driven out and, done the thing. So I've just been running training because I'm signed up for Dopey again. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm
That's awesome.
signed up for Dopey 2021. It may or may not happen. I'm just training for it because worst case scenario, at least I'm semi
At least
prepared
you're training.
to run a
Yeah.
Dopey in 2022. Um, so
Definitely do that.
yeah, because I was not prepared last time. Um, not my fault. Not my fault. Well, it was kind of
Again, husband's fault.
husband's fault. It's husband's fault. So we are signed up for Dopey 2021. We're also signed up for Princess 2021. Both
Oh, good.
and then I'm signed up to go cheer with Kristen for Star Wars.
I'm gonna be at Star Wars.
And it's very tempting not to sign up right now, but I'm trying to be good.
Run Disney is kind of like a revolving piggy bank. If something doesn't stick, you just keep on giving them money, and then it rotates. That's what I've officially decided about that. I mean, there's nothing. I know. Okay.
I've never
Huh?
struggled. I always say I've never struggled as much to give someone my money than I do with like Disney.
Just take my money.
Like,
I don't want it back. Just take it.
Please let me sign up. Please.
Please let me ride. Okay. So you are an amazing vlogger. And how did you kind of like get into that? And why did you choose running to do vlogging rather than, I don't know, your fashion sense is impeccable. Like if for anybody of you who do not follow her on Instagram, you should because she's always, I mean, like look at how adorable she is right now. You guys should be happy that I'm even wearing a regular t-shirt. that's where I'm at. We all know that I am not fashion forward, fashion forward, but Australia is, and her Instagram proves it. So, what made you want to do vlogging and then like with running with it?
I think I started, well, vlogging came from Kristen. So I met Kristen.
And who is Kristen? For people that don't know Kristen.
Running and makeup. So running and makeup, I met her, I don't even remember. 2018, I think. I think we started following each other somehow on some thread from somewhere. I really can't trace some people back because I was in a bunch of groups and when you put your screen name in the threads, like, so
100%.
we started following each other, I want to say 2018. And we just back and forth, right? Like, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. And then I ran literally. She called me while I was at the expo for Princess 2019 because she told me like it was her first. I think it was her first run Disney race was Princess 2019, and she was like, "Hey, are the Spirit jerseys there?" And I thought it was I'm contrary to popular belief. I'm very quiet. I'm very quiet with people I don't know. Once I get to know you, like
I don't believe that.
I'm all over. I know. I'm all over the place, but like I'm not like if I'm in a grocery store line, like I'm the person that takes out her phone because I'm like I don't want to talk to you. Like I'm not the person that's gonna be like, oh, is that so and so, and then like we spark up convert. That's not me. It just hasn't. But I'm just like. Okay,
Stay in your lane.
Pre-COVID. Now it's COVID. But she I think she video called me on Instagram, and I was like, why is this girl calling me? Because we'd never talked before, so she just wanted to know what was at the at the Spirit, like the Run Spirit jerseys. And so I answered her and we talked for a little bit and I missed her. Like we didn't see each other at the expo. So I was walking up to my corral, my 10K in 2019, and I see her, and she's tall. Like, she is not,
She's really tall.
she's easy to see. So she goes, "You," and I said, "You," right? And we ran towards each other and hugged, and she was with Teresa, and I got to meet Teresa. And then we were just kind of like, "Okay, well, bye, like, have a good run," and we both went off on our way, and she went off running. So she, then we kept running into each other at the parks. And I was like, "You again," like, she even gave me, like, her and her family gave me their table at Toy Story. It was really cool. And
Oh,
so she was like, "Well, I vlog, right? Like, check out, like, this is," like, I looked at her page. I was like, "Hey, she has a vlog." And I saw that she was gonna do Goofy. And I'd always wanted to do Dopey. I just hadn't had the guts to sign up for it. And I said, when I do run this, after my brother passed away, I was like, "I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna do this for him. I'm gonna do this in his name." So, because it was just such a big, scary challenge, and I had been looking at it since I signed up for my first princess. I saw what it was, and I was like, there is no way I could ever run that, right? And then as the years went by, I was like, when he passed away, I was like, I can't not do it now, because it's something I've always wanted to do. And if I
mhm.
learned something after he passed away, was you do the things you want to do, that make you happy, because there may not be a tomorrow or a next year or a year after, right?
Very wise.
So I was like, well, she's gonna do, Goofy. And she was like, "You're doing," I was like, "Well, I'll do Dopey." So she kind of inspired me to do Dopey. So I blame her. I still blame her.
Way
And
to go.
so she was vlogging, and I was like, that's a really neat idea to vlog, to see it move through, because I had stopped running. Like, I had picked up a really good stride with running. And when my brother passed away, I didn't want to do the things that made me happy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was kind of like a guilt thing that you're not living anymore, and you know. So I loved running, so I stopped. So he passed away November 2017, and I ran a marathon I had already signed up for in December 2017, less than a month after he passed. And that marathon, Lord, it was cold, it was hot, I got rained on. It was just
Oh no.
all the seasons in the 7 hours it took me to run it. Or
Oh
what?
gosh. Oh
So
no.
I finished that. I had already signed up for Princess, so I went ahead and did it also. Just because I was like, well, I already paid for it. Like,
Just do it.
yeah. But then I just stopped. So I hadn't really ran again until 2019 for Princess. And I really wanted to get back into it because it made me happy. So I started vlogging in an effort to motivate people that are not fit enough, that feel like they're not fit enough, fast enough, and maybe even good enough to take on a feat like Dopey. So I wanted people to see the ups and downs of running, and how it's not always that perfect, picture,
Yeah.
selfie time that you may see on Instagram, right? So that's why I took up vlogging, and to keep myself motivated too, because it was going to push me to get out there and um, look back on it, I think. And I think thinking, which is funny because I didn't even get to record my finish line. I think thinking like, I really want to post a video of me doing that final lap, right? Because it was like the final lap.
Yeah.
It's what I guess puts a pretty bow on all your running and training, because it's a lot of training. Um, just that thought of, I have to, for me, as much for me as for whoever's watching me, like that extra push when you're at mile 20 and you're hitting that wall.
That's so many
And it's
miles.
95 degrees out, and you've been up at 2 to 3 a.m. 4 days in a row with parks. It's just, and I'm not the
That's a big thing.
I'm not the fittest, I'm not the fastest, and I'm not the healthiest, right? going back to like asthma, I always carry my inhaler. And then I got injured on top of it. So that's where I stopped, right? I kind of went a little downhill with vlogging when I got injured because I wasn't doing anything. I couldn't even walk.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I couldn't walk without a limp. It took forever. So I stopped. I stopped vlogging because I was like, nobody, in my head, I was like, nobody wants to see this side of me because I just went down a really dark path, not being able to move. And then I finally started moving again and I got so sick. Like I could barely walk to the kitchen without losing my breath. I had
Oh wow.
insane cough. I was in bed with fever for like 5 days. I couldn't keep myself awake. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I just started running again and now I'm out again. So I was
Yeah.
out for about since Thanksgiving Day until like mid to end of December. So I felt like I felt better and then I got
Wow.
sick again.
Dang. And then what did you do for a marathon weekend?
For like,
This past year.
what did
Did you
I,
go to marathon?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one I did.
Okay. Okay. I was like, wait a second.
That
So
was
you
my
got sick.
first
So you got sick, and
20.
then immediately right afterwards went to marathon weekend. I'm just making sure that everyone understands that that's amazing. I'm fanning you because you're cute, but I'm also like, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. So
My mileage came in for the year, and I registered at 125. Was it?
wow. 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 Oh, girl, good for you. I mean, that's really, really, really amazing. And the fact that you did all of that, and then you want to do it again.
I
That's
know. So,
that's even crazier.
so here's how I justified it, because I'm not full on crazy, but I am. I justified it by I didn't get to enjoy the marathon as much. I mean, as much as you can enjoy a marathon.
I mean, it's true. I mean, I've never done one, so I don't actually know.
um,
But
it was my third, right? That was my third marathon. So I just didn't
dang,
get to, I guess, stop for characters, and I wanted to do Everest, and I want
okay,
to do it. I guess I want to compare. I ran the farthest run I did for Dopey was 8 miles. So
so there's that.
the 13 I did in September for it, that's where I got injured. So
Okay.
I want to know, I guess, or feel what it feels like to actually do the training and do the thing.
And then experience everything that you're supposed to be experiencing. And then not only just experiencing that, but like experiencing it that with your friends, because when you do it with them, it's just so much better. So that'll lead into the next question. How do you stay motivated right now with everything? Because I know that like the races aren't open for you guys. Do you have friends that live nearby? Do you run with them? Do you do like runs kind of like on your own? Like how do you personally stay motivated to kind of keep up, especially with marathon weekend?
So, like,
Loaded question.
loaded question. So the only real motive, I don't have friends that run here with me. My husband will run with me every now and then, but he prefers to bike when he is able to get out with me. He's been working a lot lately. So I go on my own. So honestly, right now, the only thing keeping me motivated is the hope that Dopey will happen. Um,
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
the hope that Dopey will happen and showing up for whoever's following me right now, every week, right? And of course, I joined your West Coast, because
West Coast girls.
I
I
want
just
to
want
get
to shout out real fast. West Coast girls. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
because I want to get miles in for the group. right? So it it's changed mostly from motivation to accountability, because motivation is hard right now, especially with everything going on. It doesn't help with everything that's going on top of the world seems like it's in a sad state.
Yeah.
Um, and on top of it, like it's hot here. It's so hot. So one of the things that I had to run a half marathon this week. We signed up for the Seawees half marathon.
Me too.
So Kristen, running in makeup, signed up for it with Not Your Typical Doll Face on Instagram and Kim Runs for Fun.
Okay.
So
I don't see them, but
they ran it on Saturday. I was seeing the messages. I went to the beach.
you're all bye.
The beach. But I have it scheduled for Thursday because hopefully I won't get any meetings. If I do, for whatever reason, I'll probably run it Saturday. But I'm really looking to run it during the week just because there's less people on the trail. And I get a
Oh,
little
for sure.
frustrated when all the bikes are zooming by and like it just, I don't
Yeah.
I get one of my pet peeves is passing people on the trail. Just because it's like you have to pass them at a certain distance and bikes come in so fast that you have to like look back, look forward, and then like haul it to like
Yeah.
hopefully like a bike won't pop out of nowhere and like take you down. So it's like
Oh gosh.
you know, so
Yeah.
I get frustrated when I'm doing a long run during the weekend because everybody's out there. Like there are so many bikes right now and families. Like our stores have no bikes right now. Like Academy, Walmart,
Wow.
sold out of bikes. So everybody's out there. So that's how I keep motivated. Little, competition never hurt anybody. And then
Not
just
at all.
looking for that, dopey, and it's keeping me motivated to keep going because I know how not training for a race hurts.
That it does. Going in blindly is not always the best case to do, you know. That's okay. Okay, so is this your first time ever doing the seaweeds? Just randomly.
Yes.
Only because I've never heard of it until my friend told me and I was like, she's like, let's do this. And I was like, cool, okay,
So it's always been a bucket list race of mine. I just
perfect.
haven't been able to go up there.
Yeah.
Friends, because the husband doesn't want to do it. So I didn't have run friends. So this year, yeah, really this year,
Run.
because I didn't meet Kimberly in person. I'd been fangirling over her for like the past 4 years, but I didn't meet her in person.
She's
So
totally fan worthy
yeah,
and girl worthy.
she's adorable. Um, and Kristen, like we got really close over the past year.
Hmm.
So we're planning. I was like, well, now I have friends, so I can plan like a girls' trip to do like the, see.
So much fun.
So
Having friends that like run together is it's so much better. It's so much better. Like that's one of the biggest things that I love about like the page because it's we just do crazy things like every single weekend so that you're not alone. So that's it's just a really fun thing to do. What was your first like regular run? Your first race?
2014 rock and roll half marathon in San Antonio.
Whew. You went for a half. Good for you, girl.
I went for a half. Um, and then the following year, I thought it was a great idea to sign up for the marathon. I don't
I
make
mean, there's that.
I don't make the best running decision. Somehow I thought in my head that if I could make it through a marathon, I'd have no issue finishing my Princess Challenge.
I mean, it's true. I think I've never done a challenge either, so I have no idea.
I was very nervous about not finishing that challenge and being swept because I really wanted those 3 medals. And actually, that year I was going for the coast to coast. So I was like, I don't want to
Oh, that's
not be ready for it and get swept because I
yeah.
was reading about it on Pinterest and and blogs. I didn't really find blogs till I met Kristen from Running and Makeup. I didn't really know what
Okay.
dogs were. Um, so that's when I discovered like Gerald and Heather Durgan, like
The
Jennifer
gang.
Aniston, yeah, the gang.
I
So I
call them
never,
Run Disney royalty. I mean, you're a part of that, girl. You guys like this cute little like Run Disney royalty. It makes us all like fangirl out and be like, oh my gosh,
I love them.
it's a thing.
They're the best people, like Gerald's a sweetheart and Kristen is amazing and Kimberly and Laura Bowers from Joyful Miles.
Hmm.
They're all just so welcoming and amazing. So it was really, really awesome to put faces. But I read about Run Disney on a blog and I saw that you got swept. So hence
Oh
why
my
I
gosh.
didn't stop
You're like,
my picture.
ah, way to read a blog and like that's the only thing that you see. You're like, okay, I have to be faster than 16 miles. Got it. I cannot see any characters. I can't
Nope,
go pee for like 4 hours. Solid. Sounds like a great half marathon.
amazing. So this is another reason. Like my Instagram, I'm like, here we are 4 years later, and I still regret not getting that castle picture because I was so panicked about.
Yeah.
And I finished in like 2:40 because that's when I was at the top of my running career.
Okay.
I was peaking, and I didn't stop. So I finished. I was like hours because I started in like Corral D, I think. So,
Dang.
but I didn't know. And
Yeah,
that's
right.
why I'm so thankful now that there's like vlogs and I feel like there's more information and groups
Oh my gosh,
for
there
people to understand. So I always tell people like pick one photo if you're like scared of getting swept. Pick one photo and wait it out. Because here we are 4 years later and I still regret not stopping for that castle for my first half
Yeah,
marathon.
yeah. I I 110% agree with you on that. For the Princess was my first, and I stalked like Joyful Miles and Red's Runs and Running in Makeup, and I was like, I knew exactly where I was gonna stop and what pictures I was gonna take, and I knew X, Y, and Z because we had all of these things like available to us. Whereas you had a blog, don't get swept. Like that's fabulous.
Great. They're like, keep a 16-minute mile pace, but they don't tell you it's a 16-minute mile pace from the last person.
From the last one. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. Were you able to get any photos? Like
I
did you
did.
stop for anybody?
I stopped for the Princess Men. I don't know if
Ah,
they're there anymore. The
the
ones that
men.
have the glass
They're
slipper.
not there. Well, I don't know. They weren't there this last one, and that was like the one picture that I wanted. They weren't there. Keep
Yeah.
on going, sorry.
So I stopped for them. So I have a picture with the glass slipper, and then I stopped at the Epcot Mall because it was towards
Oh,
the
that's
end.
nice.
So I stopped
Yeah.
towards the end because I was like, oh hey, looks like I have time. Um,
Girl, like 5 hours. Just kidding.
so 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 that's something I always say, like, it just stop for the picture. So I did that one, and then I went to California that same year and did the Tink.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. So Tink was your first Run Disney event at Disneyland, and then Princess was your first Walt Disney World race. Oh, that's so amazing.
I got
That's so, so, so amazing.
the pink coast to coast.
I see that thing on eBay and I'm like, I
It,
love it. I think it's really beautiful.
it's a beautiful medal. It got me running because I was not a runner. Yeah.
Yeah. But now
I do
you
it for
are.
the medals. I do it for the medals. What can I
I
say?
mean, but why not? Why not? We have to have our motivation somehow, right? Medals are a good motivator.
Mhm.
Okay, so those were your first Run Disney experiences. What drew you to Run Disney and not doing like another rock and roll one? Like what made Run Disney stand out?
I wanted to dress up in a tutu.
I mean, every girl right now, right? Wear a tutu.
Like, I saw glitter, I saw tutus, and I was like, sold.
Right. And then you get to run through the castle. I mean,
Like,
can
you're
you
under the
like
castle, like, you can't it's something different. Like, it's hard to explain unless you've been there.
you've done it? Mm-hmm.
The emotion and the that you feel to just once you turn that corner or the castle comes into view, because sometimes they change the course. Uh, but it's something else. It's like an indescribable feeling of emotion. And I've done it, I don't even know how many times, I guess since 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20 plus Topi. So I've done it 6 times now, and it's still
Wow.
the same emotion. It's still the same, you get the like, like, right, I said it was the
Yeah.
one and done, and then like again with regret, I still regret not signing up. 2017, I did the half, and that was it. Just because I had to beg my husband and be like, I know I said it was a one and done, but can I
I
like,
gotta do it again.
yeah, can I just please do the half? And I got into the queue, and he was like, fine. So we got in.
You're all just letting you know this is already happening.
And then next year he came along because he was like, well, I get up early anyways to cheer you on, so I may as well run it. And he
Aw.
do the tank half, and he really liked it. He loved the environment because it's special to run at Disney World, but I guess because how the course goes through Disneyland, you
Mhm.
have so many people out there. Well,
Okay.
had so many people out there.
I know. I'm like, I was never able to do it because they stopped like right before I started running. Okay, so you did Princess 2017,
16,
2018,
17, 18,
16.
19, and 20. Yep.
So Princess 2016 was your first Run Disney race. When did you do, was it like on the airplane or was it like that moment when you were like, I need to sign up for another one? This is going to become a thing. When was like that moment that it like clicked and you were like, I love this so much. I have to do this forever.
I think it was 2017. Like
Okay.
forever. Because I think it was the one and done, right? And then I was like, no, I'm just going to do 2017. And here's the thing. We used to get in on Wednesday and leave Monday. Um, and then I got the bright idea to come in early because it's President's Week. So we started coming in on Monday so I could enjoy the parks. So
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Expo, not Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, parks. Thursday, all day Expo, because that first year I went, I had a park day with Expo, and I feel like I didn't get to enjoy the Expo because
Yeah.
I was like, I paid for a park day. So,
Yeah.
so I was like,
I get it.
but
Uh-huh.
the Expo was like insane. Like things got ripped out of my hands in
Oh
2016.
my gosh.
Like I had a jacket and like someone like whipped it from like it was bad. Like the stories you hear where people have like black eyes and stuff, it comes from there.
What?
Because of that, I started buying Race Retreat to get an early entry because I didn't want to deal with that again. Like literally, like
Yeah.
my husband, I have the wine glass from 2016 only
How cute.
because the poor cast member came out with the box and he got attacked. Like women pounced on him, and like my husband is a little bit taller, so he was able to like scoop one up from like the you know
Oh my
but like
gosh.
people were like grabbing onto their stuff like this while they were in line to pay because people were like grabbing things out of their hands
That's
while
insane.
they were in line to pay.
That's crazy. Okay, what year was that?
2016.
Okay, so that's not like, so we don't want to scare anybody from going to Expo.
No, it didn't happen again. I
Okay.
did a regular entry this time too, and it wasn't like that because it's much bigger. The area is a lot bigger, so I think that's why they moved to the Visa Center because before it
Okay.
used to be in the big one where everything is at, so it was just that little piece. So they just kind of let people come in and out. It was a really small area. And then like the next year they moved it to Visa and you had to make a line and they only let in a certain number of people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's get there early, everyone.
Yeah.
Get there early for Expo. But go to Expo because it's amazing.
Mhm.
Just reiterating that. What's your favorite like Run Disney memory? It can be from either parks, and I know that just picking one is kind of like rough. But what is like this moment really stands out to me so much more than like all these other amazing memories. Yes, they're amazing, but
I think that first finish line for Princess, the half, just one, it was running up the castle because I could see my husband. And in my little girl heart, I never thought I'd be at Walt Disney World and be running through it because of me not being able to run. So like
mm,
it was like a full circle moment where it's like I'm with a person that means the world to me. He's here to cheer
oh,
me on. Here I am doing something I didn't think I'd ever be able to do because of asthma, and here I am doing it, right? And I'm just like in a tutu. Actually, I had a sparkle skirt
you're
because I wore
Sparkle.
a tutu for the 5K because I was told there was a graveyard of tutus. So
Oh,
where people
that's
like,
kind of fun.
yeah, they lose it because you start shaping and stuff.
Oh gosh. Well, there's that too. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So crossing the finish line with your husband
So
for the
crossing
first. Okay.
crossing the finish line with my husband for the first time.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's a really, really beautiful memory.
And that he wore the
Um,
outfit I made for him.
which costume do you guys have? Because I've seen like quite a few of your Instagram photos, which again, if you guys are not following her, you need to follow her because she's
Um, it
amazing.
was the Snow White one. So he was Prince Philip and I was Snow White. Which
Okay.
that thing was driving me crazy though, so I need to next time I dress up as Snow White. I put like a little thing in the back and like
Oh yeah.
a mile in it was like banging the back of my head and I was like
Here,
but I
can I
made it
just rip
to
this off, please?
I made
That'd
it
be
to the
great.
finish line. I made it to
It made it to the finish line. That's all that matters. All right. What is like what's a one thing that you have to have while you're running? Like if you were going to pick up right now and just go running, what's your go-to? Like you have to have it.
I
It
guess
can be anything.
your headphones. I'm a music person.
Okay.
Um Music has always had a special meaning in my life and that's how I relate to songs and situations, so it always I feel naked without it.
I get you. No,
My
I get
phone.
you. Yeah. What headset do you have?
I have the Beats wireless because I don't like cables.
Okay. No, I mean that makes sense. Yeah.
So
They
and the
get
only
messy.
reason I had Apple AirPods, but I don't like that they feel like they're gonna pop out sometimes.
Okay.
So when I'm running, I get like I feel like they're gonna pop out. So that's why I switched to Beats because they have a little wraparound thing that
Oh, that's
goes
perfect.
around my ear.
That is a perfect thing. Okay. What was the moment that you realized that you were a runner?
Oddly enough, it probably wasn't until I crossed Dopey this year. I've always seen myself as a non-runner, just a recreational runner or jogger, not
Yeah.
a runner. It's taken a lot, it takes a lot to recognize you're a runner,
Hmm.
just because there's so many paces out there. And I walk, right? I like take walk breaks. I
Yeah.
don't run straight through. So I think um, it's kind of a mental thing. So it's like that whole, no, I am a runner. Like I'm running.
You're
I
all, wait a
finished
second.
this. Wait,
Yeah.
I'm a runner.
Do that again. We're like running. I agree with you. It's definitely a mental thing. That's cool. And congratulations for knowing that you're a runner, because you are.
Years later.
Yes. What?
It's like 6 years later, but now I'm
I,
like,
you know, I mean, the fact that you realize that though is like so important because it's just so good for yourself and for like self-esteem and motivation and really taking yourself from point A to point B and being like, you know what, this is what I am. Because then you can become even a better role model, which you are. Like you guys didn't get to see this before, but someone had commented in the group and they said like the sweetest thing, how Australia was like motivating and just like a few of these things. And I just went and sent her a quick snapshot of like this and I was like, this is what you're doing. You are helping so many people. You're motivating them and you're encouraging them. And especially in a time like this, like we really need more people who focus on like love and truth and joy and like to get up and then for you to choose joy every single day. It's hard. It's a really hard and mentally straining thing to do, but you do it seriously so flawlessly.
oh,
And you show it like through your Instagram and with your videos and stuff. So I'm gonna start crying. So we're gonna go on to the next one. What's your running shoe? Let's do that.
oh, oh.
Serious to ridiculous.
So,
I know. Sorry.
I know, it's like, so I was told I
I
was
know.
over pronator.
Don't cry.
So if, I was told I was an overpronator, so I've been buying overpronator shoes. So I was using a Brooks Adrenaline.
Okay.
I started picking up pace after injury, and I started getting an ache on the inside of my
Oh
foot.
no.
So I went to the running store, and he's like, "You really should be running in a neutral shoe. You don't have enough mobility for you to justify a stability shoe. So it's if anything,
Yeah,
it's."
yeah, yeah.
So I switched to New Balance. I should know the name. It just like it left my mind. They're New Balance.
Yeah. I don't know what the name of my shoes are. I have no clue. So you're
They're
good. They're New
light.
Balance.
I
So
like
that's
light
good.
shoes, even with stability, which was really hard to find uh, a light shoe and a stability shoe. But this one is like, I think it's like a 6.4 ounces, and it has cushion, and that's my shoe.
Dang, you even know the ounces too.
It's mine.
I'm like mine are black. I'm just kidding. I mean, I know that they're Asics, but like that's all I know. That's all I know. All right. Running shoes done. I kind of like blended a whole bunch of questions together, and this is like uh, what is on your bucket list? If you were to choose like one or two runs, and they don't necessarily have to be Disney, but like what would you want to like go do or go experience? You can take friends or you can take your husband, but like just ones that'll like really like captivate you that you were just like, oh my goodness, like this is such a great goal to have.
I really want to do Disneyland Paris. I have a love for Paris that I've had for a while. Like and Boston.
Boston, dang, get it, girl, get it.
So charity, obviously, but but
You would
Boston.
be amazing. That would be awesome. When would you envision yourself trying to do Boston?
Probably before I'm 40. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm giving
And you're
myself
32 right
time.
now.
I'm 32.
Okay. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you got plenty of time, girl. You have plenty of time. That's exciting. So I think right now it's time for a snack.
Oh gosh, you did.
I think it's time for a snack. Do you want some pretzel? The fact that I even had this in my freezer makes me so happy because I don't buy pretzels.
Had a pretzel.
You can tell the story while I eat this because I made it like an hour ago and then we had all the whole fiasco thing. So like it was warm and I was like, I'm gonna sit here and eat it. And then it's now cold. It's literally the cold pretzel from my backpack.
From your backpack. It all lines up. It all comes full circle.
I know.
So,
Feel free to divulge on the story.
so Kristen messaged me that we both figured out that we both wanted to go to the Joyful Miles meetup, and we were both going to be at Hollywood Studios the same day. So Kristen said, "How are you getting?" And I said, "I'm probably taking an Uber or a Lyft because it's the easiest and fastest way." So she says, "Oh, cool. Can I ride like this Lyft with you?" And I was like, "Sure." And she's like, "Okay, meet me by the
That's
entrance."
not the face you gave me though. You were like, oh sure. You were happy.
I
You
was
were not
in my
confused.
text. In my text, I was happy. It had smiley faces. And so, so I went on Slinky Dog. We get off Slinky Dog, and it's like time to go to the meetup. And she's like, "I'm wearing a green shirt with like a baby Yoda."
With Baby Yoda.
I told the husband, "Look for a green shirt with baby Yoda. This is what she looks like, right?" And I give him I show him the picture, and he's looking. And she's there with Carrie, and I meet Carrie, and we get into this Uber Lyft people that are complete strangers. And Kristen, Carrie, and I jump into the back seat, and my husband gets in the front seat with the Uber Lyft driver. And we're nearing Disney Springs, and I don't even remember what conversation we were having. I think it was like, "Do you know where it's at? Like, where are we gonna walk when we get there?" So we're talking, and then she just pulls this cute little backpack, and she's like, "Does anybody want a pretzel?" And I was like, I'm good, thank you."
Oh my gosh.
I don't know many people that carry pretzels in their backpacks in the shape of Mickey, but I'm glad I'm prepared.
Oh.
And now she's my pretzel bestie forever and ever. That's a
Oh
bond
my
that
gosh.
can't be broken.
It cannot be broken. It's just so funny. I hadn't eaten like all day and I was just drinking beer. So I'm like, I think that was after the 5K too, because that was Friday, right? No, it was a Saturday.
It was Saturday, so we done
Okay.
10K?
Also hadn't slept like
Well,
because
you
we
don't
also got there on Wednesday.
hmm
Huh?
You don't sleep when you go to Disney.
No, you don't. And then I took the night overflight and like I didn't sleep at all and I didn't sleep the night before. So I was going off of like no sleep and I was like, I'm just gonna have a beer or two and then like call it quits. And my friend bought me a pretzel and she was just like, okay, just put it in your backpack and just like you need to eat it though. And I was like, okay, I'll eat it. And then I forgot. And then I'm like rummaging through my backpack and I was like, oh, I got a pretzel. Like, does anybody want any? Nobody took me up on my offer. Nobody did. It was so rude. I was gonna give you a cold pretzel, but it was shaped like Mickey.
So if you're hungry
Rude.
and you need food and you see Kristen, she'll probably have a pretzel in her bag.
I will, I will always make sure to have pretzels in my bag. I'll have like 12 of them and just like passing them out. Here, 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 here. All right. We'll do like one or two more questions and then we'll kind of we'll end it. Who inspires you the most to like continue on to run and stuff?
It's definitely my brother. I think he always told me that I was capable of things that I didn't think I was capable of. Um, Shortly, a little, when I was moving out my mom this summer, I found a letter from him that said that. And
Oh,
yeah, so for my Sweet 15, my quinceañera, I guess he wrote in my guest book and he wrote me a letter. And he said that
oh
I was
my gosh.
capable of doing everything I wanted because I was just like him. And like I think it came full circle finding that letter because I know we weren't very emotional with each other because it was kind of like big brother, little sister, and we'd
Yeah.
always give each other grief and we'd always kind of poke fun at each other. And it was just that relationship where he was like, "Hey, it's Christmas, you get to give me a hug," type of thing.
Yeah.
Fine, it's your
Yeah.
birthday, I'll give you a hug, right? And that's how we got along. So to have something emotional and meaningful from him in writing, I think just like it's like this year came full circle for me, right? And he inspires me to this moment because I feel like in the short time that he was here, and I feel like it's short, he was 37, he did what he felt he needed to do. Like, he got started late, right? Like, he didn't finish school. He went back and he graduated in May of 2017. And I know
Oh, good for
like,
him.
that was his thing, like to leave his kids that legacy that we're gonna go to school and we're gonna, be professionals. And he got to do that, and he got his job, and unfortunately he was gone in November 2017. So, but he got to accomplish that.
Yeah.
So I guess him, I talk, the person mentioned my marathon recap video. I sent my husband off because I was just like, I'm not gonna make it. Like, you go, save yourself. I'm not gonna make
Save yourself.
it. Save yourself. I'm not gonna make it. And I didn't want to hold him back, and then it'd be too late for him to be able to finish Dopey, because I was like, I'm not gonna finish, right? Like by mile 4, I'm like, this isn't happening. So the moment he left, that my husband left, it was like the sadness set in, and I'm like, I am by myself, right? I am absolutely by myself. Yes, I'm surrounded by people, but like
Hmm.
losing sight of my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, like it's just me in my head right now. Like it's just gonna be me for the entire remainder of wherever I make it to in my marathon. So I started talking to him, right, in my head. I wasn't talking out loud, but it was just like,
Which is okay if you were. Just throwing that
yes,
out
it's
there.
okay if you are. Whatever works for you. So I was talking in my head, and I was just like, help me, let me get through this. And, a song came on that we would both listen to. And I was like, okay, you got me. I know you got me. And I was running along, and I was just like, send me a sign, send me something, right? Like, just send me a light. I don't know. I need to see something. And that's when I saw Kristen running in makeup down. I was by Contemporary, and I saw her turn, and I guess seeing her, I was like, she's trained, she's prepared, and like she's there, like she's not that far away, that I can do this, like I can push through this, right? I can make it to the castle. And I didn't see her again. So I ran, I kept going, stopped in front of the castle, took a quick pic, and then kept going. And then that like mile 13, like the whole woo from the castle is gone, right? And you're in that long stretch of, you know, cones. And I was like, I need you again. I can't do this. Like, I really, really need you. And I felt a hand on my shoulder, and it was Kristen and Teresa. And I don't know what time. I think they went to the restroom, and I passed them. So I was like, I'm just gonna stick with them as long as I can, right? And they stopped for a character, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep running because I can't
Yeah.
stop right now. Like y'all are more prepared than me. Like y'all will catch up to me. And I think we kept going, and I lost them along the way because, and I stuck with the pace group, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna listen to music, and I'm just gonna focus. I'm gonna push through. And I came around, and I went through, and like my headphones died at like mile 22. And I was like, oh, it's me and my thoughts. Like, it's me and
Again.
mile 21. It's me and my thoughts again. I was like, I really need you. And so his last present to me, for my birthday, was the hydration pack, and it was a pricey hydration pack. So he always told me, and he's like, does that thing run for you? Like, why is it so expensive? Because it was like 120 for the hydration pack.
Yeah, they're crazy
They're
expensive.
expensive. And he's like, does it run for you? Does it blah, blah, blah? And he was just giving me grief over it. So when I had the hydration pack, it started to like shave me. And I was like,
Oh
fine, you win. Like,
no.
yeah. Like, I had a little, like, and I was like, whatever. This is the type of time that it is. So
Sense of humor.
I was like, you win. You were right. So I ran through, and then again, like, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, and then you're like, you're at mile 25. You're gonna freaking like roll if you have to, right? And
Roll.
so I was like, I'm just gonna grab a cup of water and like pour it down my back. And like I was like, no, I don't need water. And then I was like, wait, no, yes, I do. And I took the cup of water from someone that I'd been following on Instagram. And she's like, hey, it's you. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry I took your water. And she's like, no, it's
You're,
fine.
you took, wait, hold on. You took water from a runner?
I know. And she didn't kill me. She did not kill me at like mile 25.
Okay.
And she was
Keep
so
on
nice.
going, sure.
And it like distracted me for like those moments. And then I was like, okay, I'm in World Showcase. I got this. Like, I'm gonna do this. And then I was like, no, I can't. I can't do this. Like, this is. And then it goes again, like the fight or flight mode. And I'm like, I'm gonna roll. This is it. I'm gonna roll. And you learn that stretch, that end stretch, like, cause you've run it. Now it was my fourth time going through that chute, like the finishing chute.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is a long chute. And I was like, oh, like I know exactly where I'm at. And I saw Kimberly and like I stopped, said hello, and I was like, do you mind if I finish with you? And she's like, no, like, like come finish with us. And she was waiting for Jared, who's one of the slackers, and he came out with cotton candy and it didn't work out so well.
Oh no. I can imagine. Poor guy.
Well, but we finished, like I crossed that finish line and it was like laughter and tears, and it just, to me, like, I think he ran with me, and he
Yeah.
sent people along my way to get me through it, like, because I couldn't feel him personally. um I was getting texts from people, I was getting, like, I had this whole, that even though I was running alone, I wasn't running alone. And that's what I've
Yeah.
learned this year is you never run alone, right? And you may feel like it, but you do. And when you're part of a community like this, you don't run alone. Like, you just don't.
Yeah. That's really, I mean, that's so true. I never thought that like Run Disney kind of had a community and then you go to a race and then all of a sudden it like explodes and you're like, wait a second, there's like this huge, amazing community of like people who are just like loving and caring. And you're like, whoa, I mean, that's how we met. So it's just like, it's just really, really cool. All right. Two last things. So, well, one last thing and then like one like thoughts. Um, I think this one for the last because this makes me really happy. Who do you still fangirl over? Do you fangirl over anybody? Like if you were to see somebody, you'd be like, oh my gosh. Because I know that you're kind of friends with like the Run Disney royalty and stuff. But like, do you that's my name and I'm sticking to it, man.
It's I still fangirl over, and she used to do a lot more races back then, but her IG handle is Pink Cupcake Girl.
Oh, right. She's the one. Okay, so I just learned she's the one who started streaking, right?
Yes, it's her.
Because when I figured out what streaking was, I was like, that is not what I thought that it was. I was so confused.
That's her.
I was
So
like, wait, what's going on?
she was the first IG person runner that I followed back then, and she was the first meetup that I ever worked up the guts to go to because I get really nervous of going to meetups. I used to. So I met her, and I got to fangirl over her, and like I still fangirl over her because she's just awesome.
She's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And her IG is it's really cute too. Not as good as yours. I hope she hears that one day. We like yours. Okay. With the last thing, what is something that you would love to tell like a new runner? So say like they're just getting into running, they're not necessarily running like so much. Maybe they're running 30 seconds or 60 seconds and then having to walk 30 or to 60 seconds. And at this moment they're kind of like, can I do this? Should I do this? Like they're really having a lot of doubts in their head. So what kind of words would you have for them?
I would say when your legs don't go anymore, you run with your heart. Is very, it's, I think our heart can lead us a far way, like a far, far way, if we just trust in our heart and if we have that drive and that passion to finish, and you start envisioning what you're going to feel when you cross that finish line. I think it gives you that extra oomph. Another thing that I think is also very important is you're going to have bad runs, and you may have more bad runs than good runs, but it's all part of the learning experience. You may have a run where all you do is you walk. I did that, right? Like, I've been running since 2014, right? I've had paces of 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30. When I was injured, I was at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. During the marathon, I think I hit like a 22 pace at one point. But it doesn't matter, I guess, your pace. You're going to have bad runs, even if you've been running for years and years and years. So don't compare your journey to someone else's. If you see someone that's like, oh my gosh, I just started running and I got like a 9-minute mile, it's like, don't compare your journey to anybody else's. So make sure you stay your course, you stay your path, you stay true to your heart, and you just go back to why you started running. Like, why are you running? Who are you running for? And I hope it's you, right? When you ask yourself that question, it's you. At the end of the day, it's for you and how you're going to feel and all the joy and emotions. And, if it's running in a tutu that inspires you, then it's running in a tutu. If it's a medal with, Baby Yoda, then it's a medal with Baby Yoda. But just keep going. And if things don't work the first run, maybe adjust. Look at what didn't work. Maybe it's the shoes. Maybe it's just a bad day. Maybe you had too much dairy the night before. But
yeah, right.
don't give up just because you have a series of bad runs, because I think runners go through slumps, much like every athlete does. And we're so hard on ourselves that we give up because it's easy to give up, right? I mean, in the moment, it's hard to come back though. So it's like right now I'm like, I'm not going to give up because I'm not starting back at zero like I did, right? So don't give up.
Totally.
Keep going. Your pace will eventually be there with you. It may take you 50 runs, it may take you 10, but just don't compare your running journey to anybody else's.
That's fabulous advice. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Australia. So much for being here. Mine always turn out being really weird. I'm like a little small box. We couldn't figure mine out. So on this like itty bitty box, like over here, and then like on hers, it's like split screen. So I don't know where I'm at, but I'm right here. And my hearts always don't look normal. So there's that. I don't know how to make a heart with my hands. So so there's that. Can you refresh our memory on your Instagram and what your YouTube is so that people can start following you, because you are fabulous.
So my IG handle is Fairy Tale Runner, because I think my running journey is like a fairy tale for me personally. And then my YouTube is www.youtube.com/C. I don't know where the C came from. /C/ Fairy Tale Runner.
With the C.
Yeah,
and we will post it when we post this onto YouTube and onto the Run Princess family. Like, what's my page? The Run Princess family. We will drop all of the links again for you guys to be able to follow her. Thank you again so much, Australia, for coming on and doing this with us. You are amazing. You are a true light and a true leader in like this crazy times, and you are Run Disney royalty, whether you want to think of it or not. But we love you so much, and thank you so much for being our first guest on this like crazy new adventure. And I look forward to personally having you back again, because you're fabulous. All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a great night.
Bye.